There's some things that people do or say that really gets under our skin. This can be misunderstanding us, labeling us, mocking us. So we kind of want to develop a thick skin to not be so sensitive to it. Having a thick skin helps us feel more confident, less embarrassed, and less anxious to be around other people. But contrary to what people think, having thicker skin actually means filtering what comes in, not building thicker walls. Implement these filters and you'll have much less stress to deal with. I've divided the process into 3 layers, and the outermost layer being the inflow. Normally when we're talking to people, they do or say certain things and we interpret each of the things that they do and give them meaning. However, the more sensitive person have this tendency to direct more of the negative things towards themselves than the average person. If someone cancels the meetup, the sensitive person might automatically jump to the conclusion that this person is angry at me, this person just doesn't want to hang out with me, or they did something wrong. And in reality, this person might simply just not be free. This might seem small, but let's take an example where the sensitive person attributes 70% of the negative events to himself, while the average person attributes around 50% of the negative events to himself. This more sensitive person is carrying 20 additional events, a burden of unnecessary pressure on himself. When there are troublemakers trying to come in, we stop them before anything can even happen. But let's take a step back. What if the person was actually trying to avoid us in that meetup example? Can this person actually be avoiding us and going to other hangouts without us? Sure. Can this mean that we have actually offended this person in the past and this person just doesn't like us? Absolutely. But the main thing here is control. If the person isn't willing to talk about it, and what we're thinking, there's no way of verifying if that is true or not, then we have no control over that situation, which means it's not really our responsibility anymore. So rather than thinking about what might or could have happened, we want to drop it completely and filter them to the side. And the best way to go about doing this isn't trying to not think about it, it's actually focusing on something else. The question to ask ourselves in this situation is, what's another possible reason? By asking this question, we're trying to actively remove the negative events from our lives that we don't actually have responsibilities over. What's another reason why she hasn't texted back? What's another reason why that random guy gave me a weird look? When we give ourselves that second option, it splits attention and prevents us from overemphasizing the attention on ourselves. Now, what if the situation is about us? In this layer, it's about separating the opinions from the facts. Facts are objective, opinions are subjective. And because opinions are subjective, then we can filter them out as unnecessary pressure. If someone said, "You have really ugly teeth," this statement is an opinion because ugly is always subjective. So therefore, we can filter this out as unnecessary pressure. Let's say if another person says, "You weigh 200 pounds. That statement is a fact. But if we think that they are trying to imply that we are really fat, that statement is an opinion, which is considered unnecessary pressure where we can brush to the side. We want to actively remove opinions because we don't have control over opinions. And it's not really good to constantly think about something that we do not have control over. So the filtering question for this layer is this a fact or an opinion about me? Then direct all your attention to the facts and don't worry about the opinions. The last layer is about self-worth. When our self-worth is impacted, this is when we start to feel insecure, insignificant, and anxious as a person. All the layers and previous filters is to prevent people from getting to this point. When sensitive people receive a negative comment, they instantly allow them to get to this level. Versus thicker skinned people, which by the time they got to this point, most of the criticisms are already gone. And in this layer, how we feel about ourselves is where it's really challenged. The main question that should be asked here is, should this decrease our worth as people? If we messed up at work and people dislike us, Should this affect our self-worth? How about if we embarrass ourselves in a family Christmas party? Should this affect our self-worth? The answer for both questions should be no. In fact, most of the time the answer should be no, because even people with horrible crimes are still treated like human beings. If we did something wrong, we should apologize and make changes, but actions does not make us any less of a human being as other people. If you have found this video helpful, it does help me if you hit that like button and don't forget to hit subscribe. With any questions or comments, just put them in the comment section. And I will talk to you guys next time.